Hello, this is a video about the assembly and the disassembly of a Coleman Multi-fuel stove, model number 550B, or as shown on my user's manual, Peak 1 multi-fuel stove. You can see the model number there as well, 550B499. At least this is what I have. I believe there are some different types with different numbers. They all work the same. Liquid fuel goes in, and by means of pressure and heat it turns into a gas, which then is used to light the stove. One of the most common things you have to do with this stove, technically speaking, is the conversion from Coleman fuel to kerosene, for which you need this generator assembly. This one is different because it has a groove in the nut, if you can see it. This one is used for kerosene and other fuels. This one, which is installed now, without the groove, is used for Coleman fuel. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to disassemble to the degree where you can change the pipe, the fuel generator. Then I will continue with total disassembly. And again, during the assembly we will stop a moment from where the assembly of the different fuel generator continues. What do we need? A stove, of course, of which we check that there is no pressure inside and no fuel. This one is empty. I emptied it before. It's better if you have a chance to let it open for some time and let all the gases evaporate inside, just be safe. What do we need? Also the user's guide, which has a manual for the conversion, a parts list, and on the other side is the front as well with warranty, and on the other side how to use the stove. We're not going to discuss that. A little bit how it functions when we disassemble it. So we're going to keep this one at handy, and just in case we miss anything. The tools we need, of course, a different fuel generator, Phillips head screwdriver, in this case on the Leatherman Wave. We need pliers, and we need a wrench for the nut. You can use an adjustable wrench like this one. This is the best because the ones I have, the fixed wrench, the normal wrenches don't fit, so this I can adjust really good. Or we use a normal wrench. This one is 12 millimeters. It's too big. My 11 millimeters is too small. Maybe in inches there is a wrench that fits. This one will do the job. So taking in consideration what you would need in your backpack to change it on the go, multi-tool and a light wrench like this. Ideally big wrench, but this one is heavy. So we're going to start out, and we're going to start out with part number 550-8321, the screw. First we'll undo this one with the Phillips head screwdriver. The screw, don't lose it. Next off is the grate, where your pan or pot stands on. Now we're ready to remove the fuel generator, and this is the point where we will change it. We take our wrench, holding the knob and the valve assembly over here. We turn this one counterclockwise, like so. Then we untighten it. The next thing we do is we turn the knob into the low position, and if you could see, you see it moving now. Just pull it out. And here, you don't know if it was visible, this bit is a small hook, hooks in, oh, that's how easy it goes, hooks in to the small eyelet over there. So now we can change it, but we continue with the disassembly of the rest first. Next off, which you saw already, is the burner ball assembly, or the business end of the stove, and the heat shield. Finally, we take off the collar, which keeps it all up. This bit has nothing to do with the fuel. The fuel flows through here, if I'm correct. So, next thing is the disassembly of the, forgetting the name of the valve. First, with the Phillips driver again, we remove the small screw, can speak, inside. We can turn this back off now. Does it come off? Not yet. Needs more. And then we pull it off. Never mind what position it was in. We leave the screw inside of the knob. This piece, which is the spring clip, we leave on. And next, turning this counterclockwise, it just screws out. The valve assembly. Maybe we can disassemble this any further. The parts list shows this O-ring separately, so I guess we can take this off or maybe replace the O-ring. But I think if this is broken, you have to get a new one. So, okay, 1, 2 holes. Next is the pump, for which we need the pliers, because this black plastic, if the camera will focus, locks in there. So maybe if you did it a couple of times, okay, I can do it by hand now. If it's new, you just put the pliers in the openings here and turn it counterclockwise as well. I've did this assembly a couple of times now, so everything is much smoother, of course. And out comes, let me see, the pump plunger with the pump cup and nut. What's left is the air stem and check valve inside. Also turning this counterclockwise. It comes off. Inside we have the check valve left. I don't know if it's possible to get it out. I think so. But I think you need a long screwdriver for that to screw it out. I'm not sure, so I leave it in. I'm sorry, but I just don't want to take a risk. So join me in part 2, where we complete the assembly again of the Coleman backpacking stove. See you later.